Our previous lesson, we talked about everything that happens on Earth. We discussed about the earthquake, we discussed about cyclones or the tropical cyclones, and everything that can happen inside the Earth, how they are formed, why they form, how this earthquake occurs, triggers the earthquake. So all the things that we discussed last time to do about the things that we experience here on Earth. Now, our lesson for today now is about the outer space, okay? Girls and boys are going to go out of the Earth. We're going to go out of the world. Okay, so we're going to talk about the outer space. What are the things that we can see, the outer space, and how they affect the Earth and other planets. But before we go there, I want you to write down all the things that you know about the outer space, or the things that you have learned from your previous grade about the outer space. Okay? So 30 seconds for that. Up now, so 30 seconds is that. Also share it to us. Just comment down below on the comment box what are the things that you have written, basic things that we can found outside the outer space. Okay, we can see some comets. We also have meteors, and lastly we have the asteroid. So these are the three things that we're going to discuss today, which can be found at the outer space. Okay? But first, before we go directly to that, using the pictures that I will show you. Okay, are you ready now for the picture? First picture. Second picture. And our last picture. So based on these four pictures in front of you, what do you think is the similarity of the three, of the comets, the asteroids, and the meteors? Do you have anything in mind? Okay, that's it. What are these things? These are leftovers. Okay? Leftovers. So comets, asteroids, and meteors are leftovers of what? They are leftovers from the formation of the solar system 4.6 billion years ago. So these are the leftovers. These are the remnants, or these are the things that have not been able to form as a planet. Okay? So these are the remnants, the leftovers. So these are the things that haven't been able to succeed forming into a planet. So they remain just the way they are today. What are the other similarities? Aside from they are leftovers, okay, of course they're found in the outer space. Next, they're still considered within the bounds of the solar system. It means they're still within the parameters of the solar system. So they are still included within the solar system. And they're most like fossil records of the planetary evolution. When we say fossils, these are the remnants that can lead us to what happened during the planetary evolutions, during the creation, during the formation of the universe. or during the formation of the solar system. So we study them, compare them to whatever the Earth have, with the components of the Earth and their compositions. We compare them for us to have linkages. Okay, we linked them in whatever is on our planet and on the other planet. Okay, what else? Now let's go with their differences and their uniqueness, their characteristic. So a while ago, we talked about their similarities, and now we're going to talk about how they differ with one another. First, let's go with comets. Comets are icy bodies. It's composed of solid gas, dust, and rocks. It can be sized as a small town. It can be a size as a small town, but once it burned, its head size can be larger as a planet. Its material, once burned, can stretch 1,000,000 miles. That's how long it can reach once it starts to burn. There are two locations where comets can be found. So it can be found or originated from the Oort cloud or in the Kuiper belt. In the Kuiper belt. So there are two locations where we can find these comets. Okay, so let's take a look at the difference between the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud. So let's take a look at the locations of the short period comets. It's like a donut shape ring of icy object around the sun. When we say short comets, these are the comets that can be able to complete its orbit around the sun in less than 200 years. So Kuiper belt, there is where the comets or the short period comets can be found. This is also where the NASA has been able to found some dwarf planets. So meron sila dun mga nakita na dwarf planets. Okay, so take a look at the picture. It is where the Kuiper belt is. It is just outside the orbit of, almost outside the orbit of Neptune. Next, let's talk about the Oort cloud. So what is this Oort cloud? So when we say Oort cloud, this is where the long period comets are located. And it means that the comets, for them to be able to complete their revolution around the sun, their orbit around the sun, it takes them more than 200 years before it completes its revolution around the sun. Okay, the details on this part of the Oort cloud is a little limited and still waiting to be discovered. Picture of this below. So on the left part, that is the Kuiper belt. So it's just after the Neptune's orbit. While Oort cloud is the outermost. The one that's on the left side, that is the Kuiper belt. The one that's on the right side that you can see on the screen, that is the Oort cloud, the outermost part. Next, let's talk about the parts of a comet. So comets also have different parts. So we have the coma, as you can see on the picture, the nucleus, gas tail, and dust tail. Okay, so coma, that is a luminous cloud of dust and gas surrounding the head as shown on the arrow. So yan ang coma. The luminous cloud, when we say luminous, the lighted part around the head. Okay, we also have nucleus, the central core in the head of the comet that is composed of rock, dust, and frozen gases. That is the stony, icy, and rocky part of the comet. It is what burns Okay, and we have the tail. Tail has two types or two kinds. So, tails, it has a gas tail. It also have a dust tail. So, dalawa. There is a dust tail and a gas tail. So, when we say dust tail, so these are the disintegrated part. Na disintegrate na part of the rock naging dust. Okay, because it's burning up, so some portion of the comet disintegrates. And this forms the dust tails, why it revolves around the sun while burning up and taking its orbit. Once it burns up, so some parts of the rock or the dust can become the dust tail. Well, gas tail, that is also called as a plasma or an ion tail. So, gas tail, that is because once the comet burns up, some of its frozen gases, of course, will start to melt. Okay, now let's talk about the asteroid. So, asteroid is sometimes called as a minor planet. So, it is called sometimes minor planet. It can be rocky and airless. Then, the current known asteroid count is 1,065,059. So, they have been able to count some of them. So, asteroids have three types. It can be a C-type, S-type, and M-type. So, later, we'll talk about their differences. Okay, it can be classified also according to their location. So, their locations are in the main asteroid belt, Trojans, or near-Earth asteroids. Asteroids has three types, the C-type, the S-type, and the M-type. So, how these three differ? Actually, these three types of asteroids, their basis is their components or their composition. So, these three types of asteroids have different composition. Okay, the first one, we have the C-type or the chondrite. So, C for the word chondrite. So, they are the most common, consist of clay and silicate and dark in appearance. And we also have the S-type. So, S-type from the word stony. We get S-type. So, it is made from silicate material and nickel iron. So, there are two compositions can be found in this type of asteroid. There are silicate materials and there is also a nickel iron. And number 3, the M-type, the metallic asteroid. So, it is just mainly composed of nickel iron. So, these are the three types of asteroids based on their composition or their content. Okay, next we'll talk about the classification of asteroid. First, asteroids in the main asteroid belt. So, asteroid belt is mainly in between Mars and Jupiter. Then when we say Trojans, these are the asteroids that is on the orbit of the bigger planet. So, when we say on, they also share the orbit with larger planets. So, what planets have these Trojans? So, Mars have Trojans, Neptune have Trojans, and the latest discovery is that Earth also have its Trojans. Again, when we say Trojans, these are the asteroids that is within or that is also on the same orbit as of the bigger planet. Okay? So, we also have the near Earth. Yung near Earth naman is just, these are orbits that pass close by that of the Earth. Malapit sa orbit ng Earth. Kaya near Earth. Yung Trojans, nasa mismong orbit ng Earth. So, when we say Trojans, they are within on the same orbit of the larger planet. When we say near Earth, these are just near. They are not yet within the orbit of the Earth. Okay, I would like you to take a look on the picture. So this is the asteroid belt, the one that is shown by the arrow. That is the main asteroid belt. That is where mostly you can find the asteroids. So that is between the Mars and Jupiter. Let's talk about now the meteor, how it is different with materials from the outer space. Well, actually, meteor, we call it meteor because it has been able to reach the Earth's atmosphere. But once it's still outside the Earth, it is called meteoroid. Now, this meteoroid comes from the debris of collision, parts of the asteroid or some parts of the comets. When they pass near the Earth and then it is affected by the gravity of the Earth, either the remnants of the asteroid or the debris from the asteroid and the debris from comets, and it can get inside the Earth's atmosphere. Same with the asteroids. Asteroids bump each other outside the outer space. They bump each other, they collide with one another. So after the collisions of each asteroid, there are some bits or pieces of it that can be called as the meteoroid. So meteoroid. So it is called meteoroid once it's still outside the Earth. Yeah, we call it meteoroid once it's still outside the parameters of the Earth. We call it meteor. We call it meteor once it reaches the Earth's atmosphere. Now it enters the atmosphere and start to burn up. It burns up. Meteoroid, once it reaches the atmosphere, it's now called meteors. Okay? Again, once it's still outside, it's called meteoroid. Once it reaches the Earth's atmosphere, it's now called meteor. So it burns up because of the friction that it experienced in passing through the Earth's atmosphere. Meteors that passes by and successfully reach the Earth's surface. So once it reaches the Earth's surface and landed on Earth's surface, it's now called a meteorite. Okay, that is how they are called. So sometimes phenomenon that we experience meteor shower. So there are more than one meteoroid. There are meteoroid happens to get inside the Earth's atmosphere and burns up. That is also what we call the shooting star, or we also call it the wishing star, shooting star, because falling star. So those are the different things that is familiar to us on how others call it. But actually, these are meteors. Once it reaches the Earth's surface, once it landed on the Earth's surface, then we now can call it a meteorite. Okay, I repeat. Outside the Earth, that is a meteoroid. Once it gets in the atmosphere of the Earth, it's now called meteor. It starts to burn up. And once it does not burn up completely and reaches the Earth's surface, that is now called a meteorite. Okay? These are the things that we have to remember, or these are the things that you must remember. First, comets lights up as they go near the sun, while meteors lights up as they get in the Earth's atmosphere. Okay, comets have icy part while asteroids do not have. Next, comets are found in the Kuiper belts and Oort cloud, while asteroids can be in the asteroid belt, Trojans, or near Earth. So, Kuiper belt and Oort clouds are much farther than the asteroid. Next, remnants or pieces of these two. The remnants or bits of the comets and the asteroids can be the meteoroid. And lastly, once it enters the Earth's atmosphere, the meteoroid that is called meteor, and once it landed on Earth's surface is called meteorite. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much.